Welcome back to the Running Back Podcast, the podcast where you come for the entertainment, stay for the sports. I am one of your hosts, Percy.
Bobby Bands.
And in the room today, we got Bruce, and we switching it up, doing something a little different. We got Reef behind the camera.
Yo, what's up, Reef back there? All right.
It's just the boys today, so you know we're going to act a damn fool. And joining the table today, we got a very special guest, Angelo Prince Rivera Jr.
It's never a done deal here. Nick could still walk away with this.
Here's the scorecard. It's not a poll in the event. You're a winner. By unanimous decision. And the new entertainment super welterweight champion, the Prince Angelo.
Yes, sir.
And you did your part already, didn't you?
No, yeah, I did.
You said your name, right? All right, so we're here.
We're here.
So let's talk.
My man's, he's here. He got a fight coming up. I know you've been ready for this for a little while.
Yeah.
I actually seen it like months ago before I hit you up, because DJ Enigma, one of our boys, was like, "Bro, we're going to this fight. We gotta go to this fight."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, for sure." Then I hit you up. I'm like, "Hey yo, we rocking with you, man. You know."
Let's get it.
You ready for it though? You in the zone?
Yeah, man. I'm only a few pounds away from weight. I've came from 205. I weighed 176.
Oh shit.
Today.
Okay.
After I was done training. So I mean, I've been laser focused for the last about 2 months now.
Okay.
Just making sure my dieting is on point, my training is on point, and just putting on the show. It's Sunday.
Hell yeah. What's your diet consist of during like your training? Is it like specific?
So I mean, to be honest, it's nothing super crazy, but what I do stay away from is salt. I do my best to stay away from sugar, very low sodium, lean meat, and just mostly home cooked based meals. Right. One thing I've been incorporating into my diet, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what made me started to do it, but I started to do intermediate fasting. And honestly, I haven't even tried to cut weight. Today was the first day I actually tried to cut weight. And I lost, my goal was to lose 5 pounds today. I lost 4 in an hour with me trying to do it. So me shedding off the first 25 pounds was me not trying to do it. It was all just a diet.
Just diet? Oh, shit.
Yeah, but I'm also training like 3-4 times a day.
Oh, that's true. I know. I be seeing you going to different gyms, posting everywhere.
Yeah.
What is intermediate like fasting? Is that like strict like non-eating or not? Okay.
So I mean, when you're in your non-eating periods, it typically there's, from what I know of, there's probably hundreds of methods out there. But from what I know of, there's 2 types of ways to do it. It's either a 12-hour fasting window or a 16-hour. And when you're not eating for those 12 or 16 hours, you can consume water, liquids, things of that sort. And what's crazy is that in that window I was eating, like, bro, I swear, like 2 weeks ago I was eating like Mexican food, like anything I wanted, and I was gaining no weight. I was actually losing weight.
Oh shit!
Right. And I felt energized. I felt alive, and
so
it's crazy.
We just missed you for the sandwich shit.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, if you'd have ran it back like 2 weeks ago, we would have been game.
I texted him like, "Yo, how's the diet? Can we try some Popeyes and Chick-fil-A's on the episode?" He's like,
This goes to bringing it to y'all.
Yeah. Next time though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So during your fasting period, and you go train during that time?
Yeah, I mean, this morning, like I said, I was training. I didn't eat nothing. Maybe drink a little bit of water, if that, just because I was feeling good.
Right.
And I ran I did basically like a 2-mile run. I banged on the bags. I did some shadow boxing for 5 rounds. And then I did like 20 minutes inside the steam room. Okay. And yeah, I mean, when I was doing the whole thing, I felt beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, So is it easy? I would assume it's easier to do it on sleep. So you're coming off, let's just say, the recommended 8 hours of sleep. So that's 8 hours of fasting. Then you go and train at that point. Or do you kind of mix it in and do it in the middle of the day?
Well, typically after my first training session, normally my first training session is in the morning. So
No
after,
food?
not really. If I do feel that I need it, I do something real light, just like 2 boiled eggs, 2 scrambled eggs, some water, and I'm good to go. You know, stick with some good protein, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. I can't do that shit.
Hey, it's
I tried.
hard.
I did like a carb diet for a couple of weeks, and I stuck with it. But then I got injured, so then like my diet went to shit after that.
yeah, man. I mean, honestly, 80% of like the way you want to look physically
Comes from your diet.
Comes from your diet.
So true.
Yeah, you know, the other 20% is, you know, working out. But you can work out all you want, but if you're not eating right, ain't nothing gonna happen.
On show. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent, so a lot of my food is in the car. Yeah, you know that means terrible food decisions.
Yeah. Well, you got to meal prep. You got to just plan it.
I know it. I know it, and I can cook. Like that's the crazy part.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Always on the go. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, so who's the guy that you're fighting? How's this kick off? Give us a little background, a little information.
So I mean, Georgia Medina, that's his name.
Okay.
I guess
it's September 1st, right?
Yeah, September 1st, which is this coming Sunday. I guess you could say he's all right. He's 6-0. To me, out of the 6 opponents he does have, he's only had like 2 really legit fights against competitors that I could see myself competing and giving me a run for my money, in which I already beat one of the guys he beat out of the 2. I gave that guy, he's real cool. I trained with him, but I gave him, he was like 10-0 at the time, and I gave him his first loss,
Nice.
which
Hold
was,
this.
huh?
Hold this.
Yeah, you know, which was 2 years ago.
Right.
And then last year I fought somebody that was like 6-0. He had like 5 knockouts all in the first round. The dude was running through cats.
Yeah.
And he almost knocked me out twice.
I watched that fight. I watched that whole fight. Remember?
Man, he almost
Touched
knocked
on
me
a
out
couple
twice.
questions that I have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save them and run them back for you.
But he was undefeated.
Right.
And it's crazy because I like to say 3 is my lucky number. So last year was year number 2, I guess you could say. I got back into the fight game.
Right.
And I beat him. So that's already another undefeated fighter that's scratched out. And then this is year number 3. I'm fighting another undefeated fighter.
Hey, 3-0. Let's go.
You get what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So, you know, in my hometown, I haven't been really fighting that much in Chicago or in the Chicagoland area. I've been doing most of my competition overseas and just expanding my brand and expanding me. Yeah.
Hey, I love that you always have your Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah.
All the time. I feel like you branded yourself with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like every picture you see, you got your hands up, you got the Puerto Rican flag, you repping. And
Yeah, that's to my dad. You know, that's all thanks to him. He calls himself Captain Puerto Rico because I don't know if you noticed, but in some of my pictures, he always has a mask on.
Okay.
And it has a little Puerto Rican flag right here. But this upcoming fight, we switching it. We all blacking it out because I got most of the people that are coming to my fight. They bought shirts and stuff like that to support. And, you know, we're going to go black out. Black on white.
Are there still shirts available?
There's probably like 20. I had over 120 something
So
shirts.
they've been going.
Yeah, they've been going.
I'll probably grab one right before the fight. I'll let
Bet.
you know for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Okay.
You brought us some tickets though.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. There we go. We got the tickets going. We locked in, y'all.
Yes,
We're going to
sir.
be in attendance. I'll bring my little Puerto Rican bandana or something.
Oh shit! Hey, and then we got real quick. We got the after party over at District, which is 1540 North Milwaukee.
Shit. Sunday night?
Yeah, Sunday night. After the fights, we gonna go party it up,
Yeah.
celebrate.
I think we all off Monday.
Yeah, it's Labor Day. The next day is
Oh, it
Labor
is.
Day.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh,
So
turn
you
up.
know, that was the best, I guess you could say, like niche about it.
Right.
You know, District is one of my sponsors, so shout out to them. And yeah, man. I mean,
I know you got a couple sponsors I see you post there.
yeah. So another one is A Bravo's Real Estate, and man, I mean they came through on the
Hell
clutch. You know, so just shout out to them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So one of the things you touched on that I was planning to ask. Well, it was two things, but the first one, I took the first one. So you said the second guy that the undefeated guy, you said that he was knocking guys out left and right.
Yeah, man.
5-0, 5 knockouts, right? And he almost caught you, you said.
He almost caught me twice. This is one of the reasons. On the same eye, I got stitches here twice.
Okay.
But if you notice, I got a nice little scar.
Yeah, I see you.
He definitely gave me a nice cut off the first punch.
Right.
And yeah, man, I mean, I was gushing out blood. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a bloody fight.
Yeah, and man, I mean, I just kept my composure like I always do. That's one of the things about me as a fighter. I just stay cool, calm, and collective.
Right.
And I weathered the storm out of that first round, and I got him every round after that.
So I want to take you back to the first time that you've been stung.
Okay.
Where you're just like, oh shit, this man can hit.
Yeah.
What went through your head?
Honestly, when that happens, it feels like deja vu. It's like, yo, I've been here before.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just trying to keep my composure and stay even keel, I would say, in a way. Because if you panic, you tend to like lose like visual. It's kind of like if you ever played any sport, whether it's football, whatever, if you get into a panic mode, you tend to have more tunnel vision. Nothing wrong with having tunnel vision, but at the same time, I want to be able to be aware of my coaches and who's around me. You know what I'm saying? Because they might yell out something that, unfortunately, at that moment in time, I don't hear or I don't see.
Panic,
Or,
the fight or flight thing happens, and you almost don't want to be there. You want to be in control.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to be in control, which, some fighters have it, and some fighters don't. I mean, that comes in any sport. You either got it or you don't. And
for sure, sometimes
it takes a while to grasp it. I mean, I remember my first fight back in 2011, man. I was just in the moment. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't hear anything. People were like, yo, what happened? Man, I don't remember. All I remember was just boom, 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 boom.
Fight mode.
Yeah, that's it. And then coming out of that fight, it was like I hit the gym for like 3 hours. I was literally tense. Like, oh my God, I can't move. I couldn't throw a punch, like everything. And then once I realized and once I learned how to just stay relaxed, stay composed, everything just started clicking.
Yeah, hell yeah. It takes a little while to learn that. Me, I was in martial arts for a little. I remember when I got rocked. This kid came in like he didn't do any martial arts. He just came in swinging.
Heavy hand.
So I'm in there, my gear rocking back and forth, thinking we gonna kick cat and tap and shit. Bro, this kid come rocking me. Boom! I see stars. I'm like, damn. They're like, point. I'm like, okay, this is a fight now. This ain't no karate shit.
Yeah, man.
This kid trying to hurt me. You know?
Definitely. Real quick, shout out to my other sponsor. I have 3 of them officially. Armin Law. So just wanted to throw them out there as well.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Always got to shout out the plugs.
Let's get into how you started fighting. Did you start wrestling? I know a lot of guys do wrestling or martial arts or boxing.
So I started training at the age of 5. I'm 26 now, so that's 21 years of experience. My dad started me off. He was doing it when it was like no time limit, no weight class. Like you could fight like 3 times.
It was when it was fresh. Like
when UFC first started off, like, yo, you fighting until you get knocked out or tapped out. That's it.
It's a fight.
So he started me off in karate, and then from there, to make my karate better, I started boxing, and then to start learning the ground game, I started learning jiu-jitsu, and then to get the grappling game better, I started learning wrestling, and then Muay Thai got incorporated with kickboxing and so on and so forth.
So you're really mixing your martial arts now.
Mixing them for sure.
I would study each form of art for at least a year or 2, and then I started competing, and I would go from there. Like, basically, once I started wrestling, I was wrestling since the age of 8 years old, all the way up to college. And when it was wrestling season, it was wrestling season. Basically, sometimes 3 to 5 months out of the year. And then off season, I would do boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, other things. And you know.
And you coach wrestling too as well, right?
Yeah, I help out at my old high school, which is De La Salle High School.
Is that just during the season or off-season stuff? Whenever you're not training with your, or do you mix it in? Do you like
as an athletic director, you don't have to answer that question.
No, well, I was about to ask. Like, do you mix it in working with the kids? Like,
honestly, it all
just
depends.
to work on yourself.
Yeah, it all depends. It depends on who they got there. I mean, when I fresh came out of college, I was working.
You were going back spanking ass.
Yeah, I was going back because the kids that they had there, they were giving me go.
Oh, okay.
And one thing I didn't do my senior year was place in the state tournament, and it kind of like crushed me a little bit because I had the dude that ended up winning state. It was 1-1 going into the third period. Basically, a situation happened. I ended up losing the match 3-2. Long story short. And that kind of like was like, damn, man, I had the state champ this close to getting beat. I could have beat him, you know. Who knows? That could have been me. You know, I could have been placed in the top, you know, All-American status in the state of Illinois and go from there. So I had a mission once I went back to my high school to basically help out a kid that was at my weight class, and he wasn't ranked, wasn't anything, and I ended up bringing him. I was basically like giving him a beating every day, and he was going. He kept coming, and he placed from not being ranked. He placed like top 6 in the state, so that was like mission accomplished. Bam, you know. It was cool, you know. Obviously, he did it, but I felt like I was a part of that journey.
Right.
And you know, as the years went on, nowadays, unfortunately, kids are a little bit softer, so I can't give them the same type of beatdown that I was giving them in the beginning. So I kind of went from being on staff, getting paid, to volunteering, to like barely coming. Hopefully, you know, things turn around with the program. They got a new coach this year, so
the passion kind of wasn't there for them, or
I personally, I don't know. You know, they had good individual kids. The thing is just, you know, it all starts with whoever the leader is.
The culture.
Yeah,
the culture.
The culture is everything. So if you don't have that strong culture, then things are gonna fade. Kids are gonna fade away, and things of that sort. So last year I went in for one practice, and not to knock my program, but you know, it is what it is.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah.
I used to coach at Concordia University.
Okay.
College basketball.
Yeah.
And like, not to knock them, but they hadn't been winning for a while. So when we come in, you know, it's a new coaching staff. Nobody knows each other, so we're all trying to. And the kids, it's just the culture wasn't there. So you know, when you're losing games, people are not showing up to practice now. You know, the excuses are coming in. We're missing kids for grades now. You know, because it's not all there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it's a struggle to get over that. When you got good culture, it makes a great program.
Definitely.
So what's next after this fight? Win or lose? I know it's winning, you know, but
that's the mindset.
Yeah.
After party. After we
You're right. Look, he think like, what's happening? We going to the after party, bro. We gonna meet you there.
Yeah, it's good. I know, of course, it's a celebration.
No, definitely.
Do you have like a plan that you're looking forward to?
To be honest, this fight, they were kind of begging me to take it, so I kind of took it. I wasn't like expecting to take it. So my overall view is after this fight, I've already made now it's looking like 2 national teams for Team USA qualifiers, and basically I have an option to do one world tournament, which is basically Sunday 5 days in a row.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's over 50 something countries. It's
hearing something about that.
It's in Bahrain. So you win that, like you prestige. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I've been competing internationally, just to build my name as an amateur, not locally but globally. So there's that, and then also there's another organization that I also have officially a spot on, in which it's literally right after that tournament. So I have an option to do both, or to choose and pick and do one. So it's either going to be 5 days of MMA fighting or 10 days.
Oh,
Yeah, basically.
So you're gonna be working.
Yeah.
So the work it ain't stopping after this.
Yeah, so the work, this is basically what this is. This is a tune-up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I looked at.
It's a tune-up fight.
It's a tune-up fight for me because since I haven't been down to this weight since last year when I fought the guy that we were just talking about that almost knocked me out. I haven't been at this weight since last year. Okay. When I competed on the world team last year, first time ever fighting at 185, and I was one match away from being top 3 in the world.
Oh shit!
And
a new weight
that I never competed at.
Do you want to stay at that weight?
No, hell no. That's why I'm going down.
Going down.
Yeah. Because to be honest, I only did it because I was lazy. I wasn't all focused.
Yeah.
And with that, I probably trained like 3 weeks, and I almost placed top 3 in the world. I beat somebody from Italy. I beat another dude from Albania, and then I lost on day 3 to a guy from Australia. Same type of, I want to say, fighting style as me. The only thing is that he was much more well prepared in the aspect of just training in general.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And you said you only had a couple of weeks before that, right?
Yeah. So it was a cool experience, and I made it again this year. This year I'm actually on 2 national teams. So it's just a matter of me deciding what I want to do. Who knows after this fight? I mean, if a contract is up there and it's something that's interested in, then who knows? I mean, money talks. So,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I've been amateur for quite some time, but I also took like 4 years off, and then I made a comeback like 3 years ago.
Why did you take that off? I know you were doing some other work stuff, weren't you?
Yeah. I was traveling. I was having fun. Long story short, my state of mind wasn't all there.
For boxing, not boxing, for fighting.
Yeah.
You weren't focused on fighting at the time.
Yeah, I just lost passion, to be honest. I lost the joy of it, and I mean, I've been training since 5, so I guess you could say you kind of get burnt out,
right?
In a way. So I mean, that's why you always see like the stud athletes in high school or whatever. By the time they reach college, sometimes they don't even want to play the sport that they've been killing in.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch them.
Yeah, nobody can touch them in high school, but then they're like, man, no, I'm done. You're like, wait, what? Why? Just because they're their parents. To be honest, they push them, and once they have that freedom to make a choice, they're like, nah, forget it. I don't want to do it. They have resentment. So I guess you could say in a way I had a little resentment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean.
Now we're
But
here.
now I'm back.
Ready? Yeah. Now we're back and ready to kick some ass and party and turn up and fight and all that.
Yep.
Did you see Andrew Luck was in the news? That retired?
Yeah, man.
What's your take on that?
I was sad. I mean, my take was really sad because I'm going to that Monday night football game in New Orleans.
That's
right.
It's
the Saints versus the Colts. So when I seen that, I was like, man, I wish we would have waited on buying them tickets because I'm pretty sure the tickets are cheaper now. We got some good tickets too, and they were expensive.
For all for nothing, we just got back from New Orleans, and you don't need Andrew Luck to have a good time over there. But
hey, I bet. I'm going with my now wife.
Congratulations! I did see that. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we just got married August 1st. Proposed to her July 4th. I was like, yo, let's lock this down. I was like, look, I'm ready.
When your mind's ready, you ready? Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I didn't waste any time on that, and now I'm focused more than ever thanks to her. She's by my side. Doing a lot of the little things, just the things that I don't like to deal with. She's, taking care of that, and I'm just
helps you focus on what you need.
Stay focused. That's basically it, So that's one of the main reasons why I feel great, man.
For this, yeah. I know. I text him. I'm like, "How you feeling?" He's like, "Bro, I'm chilling. I just, I'm ready."
But yeah, I was mad about Andrew Luck, man. I mean, he's in this. Everybody has to each teach their own. Who knows? He might come back in a year or two. Right. I don't know what's behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He might be hurt.
I know a lot of. He was saying he's gonna come back in the beginning of the season, and I know he just made his decision. So people feel like it's kind of like the D Rose situation. I'm coming back. Give me time. And then let me get out. Let me sit out.
So, I mean, I think there's a bigger picture behind it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. I mean, the mental fatigue of you've been through rehab.
Dude, I've tore both my ACLs, Achilles. Damn. I've had thumb surgery. You get tired of just going. Just see, the therapist sees me. He's like, "Yo, you again?" I'm like, I don't want to see you.
Definitely.
Like next time I see you, it's
We
like
should be
in the
having-
street. Hey, how
Right.
you doing? I don't want to be here. And just the rehab process is so long. You know, each injury is different, but the mental. I remember like I'm 18, trying to hoop in college, 19 years old. I'm in tears in the shower, dude. Like, cause my knee is so swollen. I gotta walk down 2 flights of stairs to go see a doctor, and I don't know what to expect. You know, so I know
Pins and needles.
yeah, you know, like, and it was painful. You know, so I feel for anybody that deals with any, you know, long-term injuries, and take your own time or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you got family, you got a wife, you got a kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
People looked at Derrick Rose sideways when he said he wants to be able to walk at his kid's graduation. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
crazy.
Like,
And think about it for you. You're in a real hand-to-hand combat sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a decision that everyone has to make. You know, eventually when people know they're done, they're done. So, but
Yeah. Once I get that guap, once I build my brand, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Let's go. Peace.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
because of course you're gonna have a family to take care
Yeah,
of. you know?
definitely. I
It's
mean,
you're your own brand. You're your own business.
definitely.
everybody don't want to be Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
Fighting into a 50, you know?
Or Muhammad Ali, you
Or
know,
Ali.
R.I.P. But you know, he
What
wasn't
about-
able to enjoy his later life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we all know the talker and showman that he was. You know?
He was the man.
Oh yeah, I know just how much shit he talked. He probably was there like, I'll still kick y'all asses.
He used to whisper in people's ear when people would tell stories. Like, obviously he couldn't speak the way he wanted to, but he would just drop those same little Ali, like, I'll fuck you up things in your ear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up.
So in mixed martial arts, is like the showmanship still there, or is it kind of more of a boxing thing right now?
I guess it depends on the person and the fighter. If you're, in all necessity, a true martial artist, you're gonna have that showmanship. There's really not gonna be much trash talking. You know, if you're more of the modern age fighter that probably just came out of, I want to say, just started training.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, a big dude probably thinks he can kick some ass.
You know, there's these fake Conor McGregors out here.
That's the name I was just thinking of.
You know, and they see Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, and how they did it. They think they can rise to the top by doing, you know, we're all in each other's way in a sense. And at the end of the day, there's got to be one winner. There's got to be one loser.
Right.
It is what it is, you know. But to me, everything should always be about class. And a lot of people, they just like the hype. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people like to be the hype man.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like that you get that probably from your father, that old school mentality. Because a lot of people don't have that obedience. With martial arts, you're like, they're on your ass, you know, like it's traditional. Like I used to go to these black belt events and the old school like tournaments, or when they're getting initiated to they used to get whooped with bamboo sticks and.
Yeah,
Dude,
those
like,
are the days.
And my mom would be like, yo, you ready for that? You know, I'm starting so young. And I'm like, hell, I got whooped with bamboo sticks, dude.
Right.
Like, it's a different mindset that people don't have. A lot of people get older and just like, whatever, you know? They don't have that discipline.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, even nowadays, I mean, look what happened with Conor McGregor recently. He stole off an old dude in the bar.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Did you see his apology?
No, I didn't, but I'm pretty sure it was probably staged or somebody wrote it for him.
I felt like, okay, so just, you know, usually he's the arrogant asshole kind of guy. I felt like this apology was an apology.
It was?
Sincere.
It wasn't a simple,
Oh, word.
because he thought of it as like that martial artist, and like he was like, my people don't deserve, like the fans don't deserve this. This is not martial arts.
Yeah.
This is not what I learned as a kid to do. Like this is not like what you know what I'm saying? Like this is not the traditional way stuff that you learn.
Right.
I'm glad, man. I mean, hopefully that does put a little sense into him. You know, another one is John Jones. I mean, I love the fighter, but, you know, outside the cage, he doesn't condone himself, I guess you could say, to that level.
Up with what you need to be. Like the LeBrons, look at the Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing about these guys because they know their brand is worth so much. A lot of guys don't realize what their worth is. You know, and you can lose it all like
that
this.
in a day. You can lose it overnight. It don't matter. You know?
Oh, perfect that you said that. Did you see that basketball player in the news? Delonte West.
Nah. Well,
Yeah.
you talking about buddy that used to play with LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, so there was a recent post that he's like on the streets, like,
Homeless?
bro. Yeah, I could show you the picture. You'll
That's
be
crazy,
like,
man.
yeah, and like instant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like drugs and the wrong mentality, the wrong team that you have behind you, not having someone that can hold, you know what I'm saying, have your back like that.
Keeping
Lose it all
you,
like-
you right, keep you in line. They say it was mental health, like some mental health things going on with him too. I'm,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, yeah, that's why you always gotta. I mean, I guess it starts with your educational background. How, the way you were raised, and the people that you, like you said, surround yourself with. Unfortunately, not everybody, I guess, has the right people in their corner, and you learn through trial and error.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man, I'll be damned if you give me some millions, bro.
You'll be surprised though how easy it is to blow that.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely. That starts with the school system, man. They don't teach us finances in
No,
school.
they don't.
You know, so unfortunately, it is what it is.
You travel, like you said, you see what like it costs to be in different countries and different places, and like it's expensive. You give me $1 million, some niggas will blow that shit in a couple trips.
Nah, they'll blow it in a day.
In a
They'll blow it in a day. They'll be like, yo, I'm gonna go buy me a new Bugatti. That's it. Game over.
That's 500,000, 250 right there.
So.
Literally, I was watching an interview with T-Pain, and he was talking about how he had $14 million in his bank from doing well in the music industry, and just fucked it off.
Oh yeah.
He bought a Bugatti. Then he bought the Bugatti. Let's just say it was for $1 million. Then he just like, what the fuck? When he woke up the next morning, like, well, what did I buy this for? Went to go sell it back to him.
Yeah, they probably gave him $1 million.
No, they gave him
100,000.
So if he got it, what was it, $1 million? Or let's say he got it for 800, right? 800,000 he got it for. He ended up selling it back to him for 6.
100,000?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he lost that.
So he lost 200 just to have it for the night.
Man, as soon as you pull out the lot, your car
done.
loses value.
Yeah, most people don't realize that. So
It's done.
It's just teaching people the assets versus liabilities, in which we're not taught that.
How much? I know for when you're training, do people like charge you for sessions, or do you have specific people in your like corner that are working with you?
That's kind of a slippery slope. I mean, I do have coaches in which I've been around since I was a little kid, in which it depends on where I'm at.
Okay.
So some gyms, probably I would say like 70%, 80%, I'm not paying a dime. Right. And they're just doing it out of kindness of their heart. And then there's other gyms where...
Who wouldn't want you in the gym? Say, hey, look at this guy. He used to train here.
And then there's other gyms where, I do got to pay my little monthly or whatever.
Oh, of course. Just for... Yeah, that's it. I see CM Punk in fucking X-Force, bro.
Yeah, so... it all depends. But to be honest, I mean, wherever I am at, I have brought in students there.
Okay.
So even though I do... Let's just say I go somewhere for free. Yeah, I'm coming for free, but at the same time, I do have a following where people are like, "Damn, where you training at?" They're always asking me, different people all the time. Hey, look, you're in this location, come to this spot. So I'll bring them 5, 10 people. Who knows?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right. And that just spreads from there. One person knows other 5 people, another 5 people.
Definitely. So that's why it's kind of like you got my back, I got your back type of thing.
Okay. How is like the MMA and UFC culture here? I know a lot of people. You're one of the rare few people that I've been known that have been doing this for a while. Like, is it a smaller community? Like, do you know almost every? Like when I go hoop, I know mostly every hooper. Do you know like almost every fighter in the city, or is it?
Nah, I mean, respect to all the fighters out there, but to be honest, unless you're, how do I say this in the most humblest way?
Yeah, of course.
If
unless you're not making noise, then it doesn't.
Yeah, I might see you here and there, but unless you got that talent.
If you're not nice.
Yeah. Talent respects talent.
Right, for sure.
So at the same time, I focus more on my weight class more than anything. So I would know most of the people in my weight class versus any other weight class. I would say in the best way possible.
So in boxing, like we hear pound for pound, best fighter, pound for pound this, pound for pound that. Is that same concept of this person is the pound for pound best fighter, or this person pound for pound can handle, or he's up for the pound for pound best fighter? Do we have that same mentality or not approach, but like use of that phrase in mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the UFC roster, they got a pound for pound. So I mean, you know, it's definitely like that. I guess you could say more on the professional level. Once you do, you know, you're able to fight guys from literally all around the world, and see where you're at. Then you can say pound for pound, based off of the talent that you're fighting. Right. Definitely. So yeah, I mean, you don't hear about it most of the time in the amateur round.
It's just kind of coming. Everybody's on the come up, and
yeah. I mean, if you look at one point in time, I was ranked like number 2 in the state of Illinois. I was ranked like number 6 in the Midwest out of like a couple hundred people, and then I was ranked like number 6 in the Asian continent or something like that. You know, you know, so there's like algorithms that follow based on where you fight, who you fight, and then I guess they rank you off of that. Right.
You can refuse to answer, but do you think there's some politics that play into those rankings, or is it?
Definitely on the professional level, yes. There is no, I would say, analytical like specialists that do. Let's just say UFC rankings, for instance. It's only UFC people that are doing it. So if you look, let's just say you go right now on Instagram and you look at UFC's last post about the pound for pound top 15 or top 20. I don't know what they ranked, but Conor McGregor's in there. In his last 2 fights, he's 0-2. He hasn't won a fight in over 3 years. How is he still in the top 15?
And career versus right now is 2 different things.
Yeah, you know,
it becomes a popularity contest sometimes. I remember in the NBA, not no disrespect to D Wade, but just because he's on the All-Star voting because he's just D Wade.
Yeah, like he's the man in Miami.
He's not putting numbers up. He's not like, there's ballers and, you know what I'm saying, young kids that I put, and just from voting, he's.
Yeah, it's like Dirk Nowitzki in his last run.
Exactly. And no knock to them because I would love to see them.
They Hall of Famers.
Exactly.
They're the man.
But we know
39-year-old Dirk is different than 19-year-old Dirk that'll cross you and dunk on your head.
For real.
Nah, that's funny. Yeah, no, I know there's politics, I'm sure, for sure.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Would you, who would you say that you kind of, once you stepped into the competing in mixed martial arts, I know they say you don't play fighting. So once you stepped into the fight game as like, this is what I'm doing, who would you say that you kind of modeled your style after? I know you got your own kind of not influence, but trainings.
Honestly, do you remember John Jones when he first came up or no?
Yeah.
Cool. So when he first came up, that man was literally throwing everybody on their head.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's the type of fighting style I love. And if you notice in a lot of my fights, I throw probably like 9 times out of 10. You locking up with me, you getting launched.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things that I always loved is like, whoa, wow, you know, because unfortunately there's people that have that knockout power and there's people that don't. And you know, I'm one of them dudes that as of right now, I guess I haven't found that one-hit punch type of knockout. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with that. You know, I know what I can do and I know what I'm great at.
You're a great grappler. I know that for sure.
So, you know, my hands, you know, they're not bad. So I just know that, you know, I tag them up, pepper them up, and then it's time for, you know, some, how would you say it? Free air miles.
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah, that's it. You know?
Free trip on me.
Yeah.
Were you influenced by like WWE or any wrestling? Because I know a lot of guys now, they're going kind of like into both. They'll go from WWE and now they're trying, like Brock Lesnar did the.
I mean, not necessarily influenced. I mean, I watched it back in the day, but
Or was it just fake to you?
I mean, it was entertainment.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I mean, that's a double-edged sword to say that, you know. Nothing wrong with saying that, but at the same time, you know, people really do get hurt.
Right? Yeah.
So, you know, I loved it when it was Stone Cold, The Rock, and people of that caliber. You know, nowadays, nothing wrong with them, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I grew out of that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, last time I can remember, Stone Cold won the Royal Rumble in 2000. I can state that fact all day, every day. Besides that, I don't know nothing else, you know? But yeah, no, I mean, as far as in my martial arts caliber, none of them really played a role into that. One day, if I ever got offered to do WWE, hell yeah, they pay money.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, money talks, so. That's
The
basically
right contract.
Yeah.
Anybody got some contracts, yo?
What's up? You know, I'm game.
For sure.
Let's see what we had here. Did you see that Desmond Howard comment that was all over the internet?
I mean,
What's up? What was the bit? What he said? Choking bitches or something?
Yeah. Desmond Howard have to choke.
Excuse my language. Choking. What was it? What did he say?
Does Desmond Howard have to choke a bitch? He was, referring to Wayne Brady on the Chappelle Show.
I did not see that Chappelle show, but you know, I mean, I heard it as of recently. And,
it's just bad timing. It's bad timing.
On ESPN.
On ESPN. Saturday morning. Oh my God. The worst timing. You know,
you got to be careful.
Abuse in football is already known, so you can't be throwing no B words or.
Especially with the way social media is nowadays.
Choking them.
Yeah, choking. Yeah.
Choking. Yeah.
Let's
not choke anybody and not call anybody bitches on ESPN.
Nah.
That's funny.
So I got one for you. I saw a video maybe a month ago. It was a dad. He jacked. Obviously mixed martial arts. He's training his kid. He looks about 7, maybe just turned 7. Mm-hmm. Definitely not 8.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a small kid. Kind of looks like Adrian. And he's just kind of laying it, like giving him a good ass whooping. Yeah. The kid has his shin guards and I like to use he has protective gear. Okay. Right. No headgear.
Oh wow.
And he's not doing anything to the head. He's just the dad's kind of letting him get his punches off, but he's not allowing him to hit him. Okay. And the kid's just getting mad. Yeah. And then the dad would knock him on his ass. Yeah. And the kid gets it's just getting mad. And then it was just 10 minutes of this in this video. Like, you have to really understand what's going on here to watch all 10 minutes. And I'm watching it. I'm just like, I see what he's doing. Somebody's going to see this and be pissed. Yeah. And eventually the point of it was, he told him, like, you have to remain calm, stay in control, kind of like keep that composure that you talked about when you get tagged. Yeah. Like, you can't and eventually he let him get his punches off. Yeah. Obviously didn't do anything to the dad. Yeah. And I was just wondering, like, what's your thought process about that? Did you have any similar training where,
like, the tough coach, the tough dad?
Tough. Super tough.
I would say, honestly, even like your definition of tough is like hard, like, you know, that old school, like
old school
tough lessons, those tough love lessons.
Honestly, I still had some of those to this day, depending on where I'm at. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the skill set is pretty much set in a way, right? Because I had been training for so long, so it's more of training smart versus you know, training any other way. Right. You know.
The most effective and productive way of training.
So, I mean, fighters, you know, unfortunately, most fighters don't have longevity careers. So, you know, you got to train smart in order to, you know, because imagine if you're training balls to the walls, you and your opponent, or you and your teammate, I should say, are going at it every single day. Mm-hmm. That takes away from your fighting career, you know, because in all necessity, if you're training hard every day as far as, beating each other up, black guys,
You're
getting
gonna take a
knocked out.
beating. You take a beating. You get wore out.
Yeah, that takes away from your life.
Yeah.
In a way.
So my introduction to mixed martial arts was actually, it started with boxing. Mm-hmm. What is it? The video game Fight Night.
Oh,
so then I remember switching over to UFC, and they have this little career meter.
Yeah.
And every fight, you would lose a little bit of your career meter.
Yeah.
And just like it would piss me off because I was a knockout artist.
Yeah.
So
and you're like, wait, what?
I would take a beating, but I would land the knockout by the third round.
Yeah.
So then my guys, like, you start at 19, you're an amateur, you go up. I'm retired by 23. Because I'm taking a beating, but I'm knocking everybody out.
That's crazy.
I'm just losing that that career meter. Just like, you can't fight no more.
They was trying to show us something a long time ago.
Right?
Hey, this shit don't last forever. Even in a video game,
you gotta protect yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
I had none of this.
That's why Floyd looks. That's why he is the way he is. He's able to move. He's able to talk. He's able to walk and. Because he hit and didn't get hit.
He mastered that.
I hated watching his fights with other people.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
I personally, as a fighter, I don't. I never liked his, not necessarily his style, but the way he conducted himself. Mm-hmm. But as a businessman, smartest man.
Yeah.
In the fight game, definitely.
Yeah.
As I grew older. I just started to have that, athletic mindset to where it's like, to be honest, sports nowadays, unless I'm betting money, I really don't care, because they're not making me any money. I just like to see a competitive game regardless.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Before, back in the day, diehard Cubs fan. Now I'm just more of a Chicago fan. You know what I'm saying? Unless the Sox are playing the Cubs, then, I'm Cubs all day.
Right?
But at the same time, I want Chicago to rise.
Of course.
As an athlete, that's just competitiveness in me.
You rep where you from?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, we White Sox kind of podcast here.
Oh,
we got
man.
Eloy. He's holding.
We forgot to shout out baby Eloy.
He's holding up the flyer, y'all.
Yeah, he's blocking my man. That's a good block.
He's holding the flyer.
No, I'm just kidding.
So let me ask you this, because you said your dad was in martial arts and he's trained you since you were a kid. Mm-hmm. When did he realize, okay, my son can kick my ass now? Because
it always comes that time.
It's that turning. Because when I was in martial arts, like one of my senseis, he was a 5th degree black belt, and his nephew was up and coming. So we're coming after these older guys, And I remember being like 13, sitting, watching people, and he put it on his uncle, bro. Yeah. And his uncle, he took that first hit, fell. He was like, "All right," and the nephew's like, "Come on." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when did that happen?
I would say probably by the age of...
He's like 7.
Nah. Probably, like, to where I knew I could give him go back.
Yeah.
Was like 16, I would say. Because there was one point in time, like I said, I used to, like, probably between the ages of, like, 16 and, like, 20-ish. I was always out, always on the go. Mm-hmm. Love to stay out, especially past the curfew. I was like, yo, look.
Bass in your voice.
I was like, I ain't having no curfew, all right? And one night I came home. I was probably one of the first nights I came home with my cousin. But at that age, 16, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I was
being a teenager.
just having fun, just being out, with my cousins and just chilling, having fun. And he just got mad. And I forgot what he tried to do. I think he tried to hit me. And I just grabbed him. And I like bear hugged him. Yeah. And he was like, "You better let me go." I was like, "Hell no." Like, chill the fuck out. And I was like, "Yo, chill." And, I ended up eventually letting him go. But it was kind of because I wanted to let him go versus him getting out of it.
Right.
The
Yeah.
table turned a little.
Yeah, definitely. Big time. So, once I hit, probably like my junior year of high school, just because you start to hit that testosterone boost.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So becoming a man.
Yeah, definitely.
Want to tell the story about the time where we tried to jump you?
Oh my God. Yeah, so we were in one of our boys' cribs, and
Adrian was about 5'2".
I was little. Like before me and you met, bro. Like I was little, like all high school. So, but nobody knew I knew martial arts.
Yeah.
Like still to this day, like I use it just self-defense wise. Like I know how to fight, just from what I learned. So these guys, they're trying to bully me. Mm-hmm. It's him and another dude.
That means we liked him. We jumped all of our friends.
Like, welcome to the club.
Yeah, so they over here throwing punches, trying to grab me out. Boom, boom. I end up kicking this dude so hard, broke the whole bed. The other guy.
Yeah.
Like we're in the room, and all of a sudden they trying to like fuck with me. I'm like, hold on, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But I do like a kick, boom. He hits the bed, breaks, shatters the whole bed. Boom. He look at me like, what the fuck? The other dude tries to grab me out. Foop, foop, foop. None of that, bro.
Hey,
all I remember is throwing punches in succession, and he's just hitting my wrist away every time. Just what the hell?
Like, this slow motion.
It's like this is not the way this normally goes.
Yeah, that's funny.
You gotta defend yourself. I was little. So,
then we talk about it like, oh yeah, I took karate for a very long time. Oh, okay, that's why I couldn't. Got you.
Do you have like a memorabilia that you keep, like with all your belt? You know what hurt me the most, bro? Because like I said, I did martial arts for a long time. So I had like, if you put that whole like wall right there, was full of trophies of karate. Like doing katas, doing, everything.
Yeah.
First places, I think I got third place one time, second place twice, everything first place. Yeah. And it hurt me so much to throw them out. I threw them all out, G. Because like over time, they got flooded in the basement.
Yeah, it just got rusted.
And that shit hurt me so much. So I don't know if you
yeah, I mean, in my place.
Oh, well, you're still fighting.
Yeah,
so.
I'm still doing it. I have all my medals and belts and things. But unfortunately, I got a new sheriff in town, in which
he needs to organize that shit.
Yeah, did a little reorganization, and just put some things. Like I have about 13 different titles. Probably like over a couple hundred probably medals. And,
so my little collection was shit. You would have like fucking lost it if you would have threw your stuff out.
I literally got a whole room, like a storage room that's full of like trophies, plaques, medals, all types of stuff. In which, they're not showcased anymore. They're more in
for your collection.
Yeah, just in the back. But I definitely still got it.
Is there anyone that has like a specific title or belt? Some people dedicate to their parents or their father. Does he have one of yours at home? Like this is like that one that the most he feels he was a part. Well, I know he's a part of everything, but maybe the one he's holding out to the most. Huh?
I said, well, maybe you haven't won that one yet.
Honestly, I would say for the most part, I keep all of my stuff. Because he got his own little collection.
Oh, that's true. He got his own bragging rights.
So we just throw it in for competition here and there sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a kind of? Is it a ring or an octagon, like a cage? What do you fight in?
A cage.
Okay. So do you have like a favorite moment or like most memorable moment in the cage?
I would say my most memorable moment in the cage was when back in 2000 and I want to say 12, I fought in New York. I fought in New York City, right across the street from Madison Square Garden at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's kind of like the Chicago Theater of New York.
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, imagine fighting in something like historical of that nature. Mm-hmm. It was the first time that they had a sanctioned MMA organized fights in New York before UFC started coming out there. And over probably like since MMA's been around.
So that's Times Square?
It was right across, Times Square. Yeah, right across the street from Madison Square Garden, literally. Okay. And we fought, man, it was crazy. Like, there was me, my teammates, we all went down there. There was 4 of us that ended up fighting on that card. And there was probably over like 2-3, close to 3,000 people in that like arena.
So it was a great experience.
It was
so
crazy.
The overall experience,
like the atmosphere was nuts.
Yeah,
it was just buku bananas. And what was crazy about that is that in that month, that was my 3rd fight in a month. And back then, that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Most fighters are like, I fight 3 times a year or 4 times a year. Yo, I fought 3 times in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, what happened was I had a title fight. Boom. I ended up like the first round didn't go my way. The second round, I ended up flipping dude, choked him out. Then a week later, which is crazy, I fought in Cicero Stadium, which is the same place I'm gonna be fighting at this Sunday.
Yeah.
And that was the last event that they ever had at Cicero Stadium in regards to MMA.
Oh shit!
In which I tapped the dude. I threw him twice in the first round, like a rag doll, and then I tapped him out like that in the first round, probably like less than a minute.
Yeah.
And then I took a whole week off. I'm like, I bet. Let me take a whole week off. Let me relax. I just had 2 fights. Next thing you know, I get a call on like a Friday or Saturday from my coach. He's like, hey, you want to fight in New York next weekend? I was like, bro, I haven't trained all week. I'm overweight. I was like, you kidding me, right? He was like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, man, I'm overweight right now. Like, let's see. If my teammates want to do it, I'll do it. In all reality, I was trying to say like, nah. Yeah. But I didn't want to seem like, you know.
I'm not going to be the one.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the one. So they are all like, yeah. Damn. So I was like, damn, I had to do it. I had to lose. You know, at that time, I didn't know what I was doing as far as cutting weight, things of that sort. So I had to lose probably 10 pounds, which was a lot for me in less than 5 days or something. Yeah. Now, I mean, I could do that like nothing. But it was crazy because that night we ended up going 4-0, and man, it was just crazy. I almost got choked out. I slammed a dude and he almost had me, and I popped out and I just started beating on him. And then by the third round, it was the ref jumped in and stopped it.
It sounds so crazy when people talk about fights because it sounds like a street fight. Yeah. But then it's then the ref came in and he's like, it's over. Yeah. I was slamming this guy around.
It was crazy though, man. It was a great time. To be out there with all my buddies, my teammate wise, and to be able to put on a performance like that, that was definitely one for the ages.
I'm sure that helps when it comes to doing security. You just throw some, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of people know when they go into the place, they know your face. They're like, oh, this guy knows some MMA. But then there's some guys that don't know, and you gotta.
I mean, it's kind of like a yes and no type of thing, because I do see regular people that are regulars, in which all the regulars were all good, we're all
cool. Respect, yeah, of course.
But then you do get those new guys that come in every weekend, and it's funny because they try to test me. Right. I'm like, basically, I have to psychologically break them down and let them know, look, I might be the smallest guy on our team, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I almost got into 2 altercations within the last 2 weeks at my job.
Working,
but unfortunately for him, the guys, they walked away. Okay. So
how does that work? So as an athlete, I know sometimes boxers, they register their their hands. When you become a professional, can you still work security, or is it a liability issue?
I want to say it can become a liability issue, but it's all about, knowing what to do and how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if somebody steals off you, you have the right to, it's kind of like a 1-for-1.
I know I worked security before.
So, in me, in all regards, all necessity, even if they do throw a punch, I'm going to dodge it anyways. I dodged plenty of punches before.
See, hella drunk punches.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to see. And then,
especially a drunk punch.
Yeah, it's super slow motion.
There's usually a bitch that comes before that.
But I just restrain them, depending on the situation, just hand it over to the authorities. Yo, you're going to get locked up for the night. There you go. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It gets tough. I know being security. I had a guy try to sue the bar I was at because of an altercation. We restrained him and he slips off the sidewalk and breaks his leg. So now he's like, I'm suing everybody.
Yeah, and that's basically what everybody's trying to do nowadays is catch a lawsuit. So that's why I just stay calm and be like, all right, bet, let me call the cops. They're going to deal with it.
They're your best friends. Yeah. I mean, they know the cops usually are around.
They're around.
They know all the security guards, so it helps.
Yeah, definitely, And I just leave it out to them because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Me beating up somebody that doesn't know how to fight. What do I got to prove?
What do you have?
Right.
Yeah. So
I tell people all the time, like, some people with like temper problems and like, I know you can't fight. Like you never know who you're getting into it with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
know a lot of people that would test you just because like you're not a big guy. You're not, and then you don't have an intimidating face. You know, like you have a smile that is very approachable. They're like, oh yeah, I definitely can get one off him.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like for real. You know?
Definitely. It's
That's
happened
funny.
more than once, trust me.
Yeah, the drug people. That was like the hardest thing to get used to. Being the only sober one around drunk people. Like, that is really hard.
I mean,
A lot of patience.
I don't care to drink that much, so.
No, I know, but I'm saying like when you're working,
You're on the job.
Oh, yeah,
when
people
you're on
get
the job,
people
and you're
get
the
annoying.
only sober one.
Yeah, people
like,
get annoying.
People, you know, so
Yeah,
it makes it tough.
Yeah.
So before a fight, do you have like any
Routine?
traditions? Huh?
I said routine.
Yeah,
tradition.
routines or traditions that you go through.
So look, okay, cool. This is probably the only thing that I do literally to a T. Probably okay. I weigh in on Saturday, right? Sunday, which is like the day of the fight. Typically, for the last times I've been fighting in the city, every day of the fight, I will go get a haircut.
Right on.
You know, look fresh for the fight.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
that's why I like to look bummy. You know,
Yeah.
have my opponent, and then my opponent's like, "Wait, where does the guy go?" And I was like, "Oh shit, that's who I'm fighting."
So are you
This dude
shaving the
GQ.
beard or are you keeping the beard?
I'm keeping it.
Okay.
I'm gonna trim it up
Like
and
freshen up?
Yeah, freshen it all up. The hair is what I'm deciding on.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm leaning in both directions. Which way should I go? And then afterwards, I go right across the street, get my sandwich that I always get, and probably wash my car. Got to show up to the fights fresh.
Sure.
Come in a nice suit and
On business.
Yeah, business. It's all business, you know. I mean, besides that, to be honest, those silly little things that I do, that's really it. You know, it don't matter. You know, making weight is basically my number one fight. I win that. I win the fight. That's it.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a good mindset.
Yeah.
So you mentioned tapping someone out and getting choked. I think in the New York fight. Without giving away too much, how would you describe your submission game?
I mean, it's kind of A1. I would say for the most part.
Slight
What's your
flex,
favorite
slight
submission?
flex.
What's
I
your
say
favorite
without
submission?
giving away too much, but
My favorite submission. I honestly, I don't go for the crazy ones. I've caught in some guys in arm bars. More than not, I've done more rear naked chokes as far as finishes. You know, I do basic stuff, you know, because you get to that fancy stuff, you try doing something crazy. Next thing you know, you're on your back and
Somebody's on top of you.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, so I like to keep it simple, and just put on a show, and win as fast as possible.
Yeah, of course. Whatever.
Yeah,
I know when you're
whatever
fight-
comes. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
When you're fighting, I know it's quick. You got to be quick on your toes. So I'm sure whatever you can get, you can find. You can.
Yeah, definitely.
you seem very calculated. Do you go in with your team give you a game plan based on the fighter, or is it?
You don't want to
kinda
give away his game plan.
No, I'm
so-
not. Hey, I say you can refuse to answer anything.
So actually, to be honest, I just prepare for this fight like any other fight.
Right.
And then starting tomorrow, we're gonna go to the drawing board. I mean,
Right.
dude, I got
Exploit
like
some weaknesses.
I got
and
like
all that.
3 different coaches in which
For sure.
somehow I got in contact with all of them today, and they were like, "Hey, look, tomorrow we need you to come." I'm like, "I bet." So
Everything's working out great.
yeah.
then.
So you know, the only thing is like deciphering which one I want to use
Right.
and who has to say what. Because the one thing that's a plus and a minus is that I do have different coaches for different aspects of my fight game, but in all aspects, those 3 different coaches are all head coaches at their spot. So
Okay.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of which one's going to take that lead role, and then you know, but the cool thing about it is that I get to choose which one do I want to go with, which one do I want to use,
Yeah.
and at the same time, I'm picking brains from different ones.
Do you have like a specific team, like a cut man, or are those like offered at the?
Those are more offered at the fights.
Okay.
Even professional level.
Professional.
They all have their own type of guys as far as the cut man and things like that sort. It's more of just your coaches.
Okay, so what does your staff consist of? Is it like 4 coaches, 1 coach, 3 coaches?
For a title fight, this is a title fight. It's gonna be, I want to say 4.
4 around. They can be around the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got more than 4 coaches. They're gonna be planted all around. So any which corner I go, yo, do this. So it's to my advantage.
That's good.
My man's like to throw uppercuts. So you might hear him tell you throw a couple uppercuts.
Yeah, bro, I'm game. Yeah.
You said earlier that this is the first fight at Cicero Stadium since that last one.
Yeah.
So it's expected to be a lot of people in attendance then, right?
Oh man, this thing is gonna get crazy. Buku sold out. Just for the simple fact that they just announced today officially. It's been in the works for probably about a month or so. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Combates Americanas, which is basically like a semi-pro league to the UFC. And they're real big Latin American MMA organization in which they're jumping on to this card. So they're going to have 4 pro fights, including the amateur fights that are going on.
Oh, okay.
And the cool thing is that my fight is also going to be aired with the 4 pro fights on Univision.
Oh,
yeah. So that literally just got announced like yesterday.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be some good.
It is
some good, good
exposure.
Good exposure for yourself.
Yeah, so that's why I say my options are open after this because I don't know who's gonna be knocking at my door.
Hey, you might need a sponsor. Run It Back podcast.
Let's get
it. We got a couple of days before the fight.
For sure.
What time does the fight start?
So doors gonna be opening up an hour earlier than what they previously announced. It's gonna be opening up at 3 p.m. Fights start at 4. Chances are I'm gonna be going on. There's a window slot frame depending on everything runs smoothly, anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay, because some fights end.
Yeah, quick.
A little early.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for. Some quick shit.
Still look pretty. Hopefully, not
nice
too many
fade.
black eyes.
Nice haircut.
Right
fresh ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, I don't sweat too much.
Well, I think we all set then, right?
Yeah.
So do we got anywhere that people can find you online? Are you active online?
Yeah. I'm real into, I guess you could say, Instagram. I really don't use too many other social media networks. Facebook is more for my family, but on my IG, it's the same across the board on any platform. It's Prince Rivera Jr. I keep it real simple. You can find me anywhere you want on there. So whichever platform you use.
Sunday night. We all gonna be there.
Sunday night. We gonna turn up. You gonna see a different side besides the fighter side coming out Sunday night. We definitely, I sold about, I want to say over 100 tickets. So I got a lot of people coming out. And I got a big, I consider it big because, I'm still an amateur and I got about like 6 people coming out from New York to come see me fight.
Oh yeah, a lot of support.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's going to be fun. Whenever I fight locally, in the last, 3 years, I've only fought in like probably 3 or 4 times locally. And in the last 3 years, I've had probably close to 12 fights or 14. So, been doing a lot of things outside of the city, state-wise and international.
So now there's like a welcome me home, a welcome back fight.
Yeah, and I don't know when's the next time I'll be fighting in Chicago. Honestly, it might not. Everything goes according to plan. It won't be probably for like another 4 or 5 years.
Catch them while y'all can. Y'all come support. You can probably DM them on Instagram for tickets, T-shirts if anyone's interested. Let's like, share, comment, and
don't forget that 5-star rating.
Hell yeah! Good luck on your fight, man. We'll definitely see you there.
And thank you for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure kicking with y'all.
Appreciate you for coming through.
Definitely.
Now, we out.
We out.
Peace.